Welcome back to digital class, and this is our last minute revision for our PSLE, and this is our set number H. So let's look at our first question here. Ravi had 6 coins in his wallet as shown. He took out only 4 coins, which is a keyword here, to pay the exact amount for a bun. Which of the following amount is not a possible cost of the bun? Okay, so we can just do some try and error and check. 165. So probably we need $1 coin, a 50-cent coin, 10-cent coin, and maybe a 5-cent coin. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 coins, and we can pay the exact amount. So this is possible. The second one, $1.40. $1. 50 cent I can't use because it will be too big. Maybe I'll use 20 cent. So 20 cent, 10 cent. And seems like we're not able to use only 5 coins for this, because if I add together, it's 5 coins already. It's not 4 coins, sorry. So it means that this is might be not a possible cost of the bun. So let's try the next one first. $1, maybe $20, 20 cents, sorry, 10 cent, and 5 cent. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly 4 coins. And the next one, this is possible. The next one, $1.30. $1 plus 20 cent. Since I'm using only 4 coins, so if I use 10 cent, there will be only 3 coins. Then I actually can use 5 cent and 5 cent. So it will be exact 4 coins. Okay, so the answer will be option number 2. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. The next question here says Lisa paid $18.90 for 3 identical files and 3 pencils. So you can just write here 3 files plus 3 pencil is called $18.90. The next one, I would pay $10.50 for 2 such files and 1 pencil. Now I know that 2 such files plus 1 pencil is equal to $10.50. How much did each file cost? Now I'm looking for files. So what I'll do is I'll try to make the pencil to be the same. What I'll do is I'll times 3 to each of this. Times 3, times 3, times 3. Because I'm making it to be the same. So here will be 6 file plus 3 pencil is equal to $31.50. And now, if I were to highlight this, and highlight this, so we can now actually try to compare the price by looking at these two, where I can use this minus. So 6F minus 3F, I know 3 file. 3 pencil minus 3 pencil is equal to nothing. $31.50 minus $18.90. So I will left with only $12.60. Then now I divide. 1 file is equal to what? $12.60 divided by 3, and that is $4.20, which is option number 3. Okay, and we are done with this, and let's move on to our next question here. Now, a group of pupils volunteered at an old folks home for 5 days. The line graph shows their attendance. Again, the line graph shows the attendance at the old folks home from Monday to Friday. All pupils turn up on Friday. So now this is actually a keyword. All pupils turn up on Friday, which means that Friday, this is actually the full attendance, which actually also means this is the total number of students they have. Okay, and let's try to find out what is the value. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 lines to reach up there, which means that each increased by 2. 42, 44, 46. So this is 46. Monday is 46. Tuesday is 1 unit down 20, which is 18. Wednesday, so is 52, 54. The next one is 40, 1 unit up, 42. And the last one is 60 here. Okay, so I know the total number of students is 60. Okay, and also on Friday. So let's look at the question here. On which day were 30% of the pupils absent from the old folks' home? Now, again, this is showing the attendance, which is the one that present. Again, this graph show what is present. If 30% of the students are absent, means I'm looking for 70% of the pupils were present. Now, I know the total number of students, right, is actually the Friday attendance, which is 60. And I'll find which day have 70% of the students actually appear. So I simplify, I get is actually 42. And this actually tells me is Thursday. Okay. And we are done for this question. Good. Let's move on to our next question. Next question here from Patron, paper 2, question 6. The figure is made up of triangles ADG, as you can see, A, D, G, and another triangle JKL. Okay. Now the question says that AG is parallel to JK. Again, that slash things basically means parallel. Okay. So let me just put a sign there to indicate it's parallel. AG, AG, and JK parallel. And AD is equal to DG. Now, what's the difference between parallel and equal? Equal means exactly the same length. Okay, the same length. So AD means here, DG means here. Means that this ADG actually is what triangle? It's actually an isosceles triangle, where if here is given P, here would be also be P. Now, the question now asks, find angle P. So how do we do this? We just need to try to find out. Since the angle P here, I just need to do what? 180 minus 50 divided by 2. So 180 minus 50, 130 divided by 2, 65. Okay? And I put degree here, and this will be the final answer for part A. Okay, so I know here is 65. And here will be 60. Now let's move on to the next part of the question. Find angle Q. Find angle Q. Where is angle Q? Here. Again, let me just put the highlight here to make it more clear. Now, I want to find angle Q. And of course, it looks quite interesting. It looks quite confusing. Like, hey, if I want to find here, do I need to look for here, 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 or here? How? Okay. Now, the key thing that you should notice here is actually this. The angle here and the angle here is actually the same. Huh? Teacher, why the angle here and here are the same? Because this line AG and this line JK are actually parallel. When there's parallel lines and there's line that cross that two angles, there would be the same. Which means that this is actually 65. Now, this is a straight line. If one side is 65, then what would be Q? 180 minus 65, and the answer is 115. Yes, and we are done for this question. Easy one, but it looks kind of like complicated with this like wow, like kind of star diagram there. But it's easy, okay? You just need to notice what you're supposed to notice. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Aitong paper 2, question 13. Here says that Charlie pour pancakes mixture into 2 types of containers with different capacity as shown below. So now we have 75 ml, a small container, and 375 ml, which is a bigger container. Now, here says that he pour half the mixture into big container and the other half into small container. Now, this is actually a very important phrase. Why? This basically tells you that big containers means that everything, I don't know how many containers I have, but all together, the volume will be the same as the small containers. Okay, this is what the phrase basically is saying. Then he filled the containers to the brim, means that it used really 75 ml. And Charlie used 24 more, let me just highlight this, more small containers than big containers. Now, which means that the number of containers for this, U plus 24. The number of containers for this is U. Okay, if you want to compare the number, okay, I don't know what is here, but I just put 1 unit. This is 1 unit plus 24 because 24 more. Okay, so from here, I know that this is the number of containers, U, right? So 375, the number of containers times with the volume for one container is equal, again, I'm now referring to this from this statement, okay? Now, let me just quickly just stick this. This statement actually leads to my equation here. Now, containers, I have how many? I have U plus 24. And each of these container I have 75 ml. So 375 unit is equal to, now I have 75 U plus 24. Means that this 75, I need to times U, I need to times 24. So it will be 75 U plus 75 times 24, which is equal to 1800. Then of course, I know that I need to move this 75 unit to that side. So 375 minus 75 is equal to 300. Unit is equal to 1800. So 1 unit is equal to what? Is equal to 6. So how many big container did Charlie use? 1 unit, right? And that is equal to 6. So the answer is equal to 6 for part A. Okay? This is for part A. Now for part B, let's look at the question. The question here says what? How much pancake mixture was there? How much pancake mixture was there? Now I know actually this is actually what the mixture have in a big container, and this is what I have in a small container. So actually I can straight away find the big one, 7375 times 1 unit. 1 unit is 6. Then I know big and small actually are equal. So they are the same. So I just times 2. So 375 times 6 times 2, and the answer is equal to 4500. And this will be in ml. Okay? So part B, 4500 ml. And we are done for this question. Simple, easy. Okay? Let's move on to question number 14 here. Now, question number 14 here from SCS here mentioned that Mr. Kasim had some mangoes and apples for sales. Now, I have mangoes and apples for sales. He sold 144 mangoes, and 40% of the fruit he sold were apples. Okay, quite confusing because they are like mangoes, they are like apples, and inside mango and apples they are being sold, and there's not being sold was left over. So that's actually quite confusing here. But let's try to think first. 40% of the fruit he sold were apples, which means that 60% of the fruits, let me just write here, he sold were what? There's only mangoes and apple, right? So 60% were what? Will be mangoes. So 100% minus 40%, I know it's 60%. And this 60% is talking about the mangoes that is being sold. And here say what? He sold 144 mangoes, which means that 60% is actually referring to the 144. Now we're all talking about sold or selling things. Okay. Now the question now asks, how many fruits did Mr. Kasim sell altogether? Which means they're asking for 100%. 100%. So if 60% is 144, what is 100%? So just 144 divided by 60 times 100. Okay, just simplify and just press on your calculator. You should get the answer 240. 240. Now, and here, B, he sold 30% of his fruit. He sold 30% of his fruit. Now, again, let's look at here first. I know that he actually sell 240 fruits. Okay? And that is just 30% of his fruit because he sold 30%, right? So it means that this 30% is only 240. Okay? So let me just write here. Part B, right here. Okay? B. So he sold 30% of his fruit. Means that 30% is 240. Then what is 100%? 100% would be actually the fruits, the total number of fruits that he actually have. So it's 240 divided by 30 times 100. So you just simplify, you should get 800. This is the total fruits he has. Okay, now continue. 70% of the fruits left unsold were mangoes. Now, before talking about this, let's try to look back again to the highlighted one. He sold 30% of his fruit, right? Which means another 70% is actually left unsold. Is that correct? Another 70% is left unsold. So let's try to find the left unsold first. So 70% of 800. Basically 70 over 100 times 800. So simplify, you should get 560. That is actually unsold. Now, let's look at the question again. Sorry. Let's look at here. Now, 70% of the fruits left unsold were mangoes. Now, unsold, I know how many. I just found out is 560, right? So this is 560 unsold. So the question say, how many apples did Mr. Kasim have at first? So now we are focusing on the apples. So 70% of the fruits left unsold were mangoes, which means that the 30% of the fruits that left unsold were actually apples. So let's try to find. This is 560 is unsold. So 30% of 560 is what? If you just put in a calculator, you should get 168. This is the apples that is unsold. Okay, now I find a very important thing here. 168 apples unsold. But I'm looking for all the apples at first, means that unsold, sold, I need to add together. Okay. So how to find the one that's being sold? Okay, so let's look at here. Here. Now, again, I know at first I have 800 fruit from here. Unsold 560. So what is the total that is actually being sold? So 800. Oh, I should say here, 240 already, we already found 240. And they say what? 40% of the fruit sold were apples. So 40% of 240 is what? So I simplify. 24 times 4, 96. And 96 will be the apples that is being sold. And now I found the apples unsold and the apple that is being sold. So added together, that would be the apples. Total number of apples. So 168 plus 96. That would be equal to 264. The total number of apples. Yes, and we are done for question number 14. And this question will be the last question from the revision worksheet. set H. So thank you so much for joining this video and learn together. And we are done for this worksheet, and we shall move on to our next set, which is set number I. Okay. So thank you so much, and thank you. See you. Bye bye.